Assalamualaikum. My name is Sita Haja. I'm from DBT 4B. So my number is 23 DBT 20F1032. So today my presentation topic is about ethical issue and public concern on genetically modified organism. So for the contents in the topic is introduction and definition about GMO, and then ethical issue and public concern on the related GMO, and then personal opinion, then last is reference. So the introduction: genetically modified organisms are organisms such as plant, animal, and microorganisms whose genetic characteristics have been altered in a way that does not occur naturally by mating and or natural recombination. Food and fat which is contained consist of or are produced from GMO are called genetically modified food or fat. For the definition, a genetically modified organism is organism of microorganism whose genetic material has been altered to contain a segment of DNA from another organism. Modern recombination DNA technology enables the stitching together of pieces of DNA, regardless of the sources of the piece. Since the 1980s, this technology has been used extensively in the lab by researchers of countless purposes to make copies of genes or proteins, to determine gene function, to study gene expression patterns, and to create models for human users. One application has been to generate food groups that are modified in a way that is advantageous to either to produce or the consumer. Conversely, the GM crop on the market have bacterial genes introduced into their genomes that encode for pest or herbicide resistance. In theory, this should cut down on the amount of chemical a farmer need to spray, but in the practice, the goal has not been realized as hits and which become resistant to the chemical being used. So for the ethical issue, have the 4 points. So the first point is biodiversity loss. The use of some GM crops can have negative impact on non-target organisms and on soil and water ecosystem. For example, the expansion of GM herbicide tolerant corn and soy, which is treated with herbicides, has destroyed much of the habit of the morage butterfly in North America. And number two is contamination. Contamination from GM plants has serious ecological, economic, and social impact. Germ flow from GM crop poses a threat to the wild and weedy crop relatives, non-GM crop and food and organic farming. There have been escape events in Canada with canola, flaxseed, and pig. And number three, increased herbicide use. He widespread cultivation of GM herbicide tolerant crop has pushed up the use of herbicides such as glyphosate. Herbicide sales in the Canada rose by 1,099% between 1994 and 2016. And the last is crossbreeding. Crossbreeding, the potential from crossbreeding between GM crops and surrounding vegetation, including which they could result in which they are resistant to herbicide and only they require a greater use of herbicide, which is so lead to soil and water contamination. So, for the public concern, the point is a reduction in insect biodiversity when crops are resistant to insects, and then unanticipated effect on another crop or animals for creating more weeds and harder to kill invasive species, transmission of GMO genes to wild plant and animal, and then the direct health effect, tendencies to provide allergic reaction, specific components thought to have nutritional or toxic properties, and then the stability of the instated gene, nutritional effect associated with genetic modified, and the last is any unintended effect which is sole result from the gene insertion. So my personal opinion for the ethical issue is farmer who grow non-GMO are able to save seeds, producing varieties that are well adapted to the local climate. And then non-GMO protect organism, non-GMO areas and supply chains protect organic farm and producing facilities by reducing the risk of the contamination. And the last personal opinion for me is reducing the use of increased herbicide 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 to protect the environment. So so this is the reference from this topic. So that's all for me. Thank you.